Welcome, Tuomas, to METALLERIUM Pages. It's a great pleasure to talk with you about Amberian Down, this new album, Temptation Gates, and more things related to Metal War. So we started by asking, how are you doing today, and how is the band during the last 4 years? Because your previous album, Take a Chance, it was a metal tribute to ABBA, was released in 2022.
Yo, hello, nice to be here. I was just watching some HBO, some series, maybe it was Barry I was watching. So it's been great here. We had some busy weekend behind us. We just released our album and we also had our first show together with Nicole. So it was a heavy weekend and now just relaxing here, taking some vacation. It's been 4 years since our latest album, that's true. There's been some break. Well, I think everybody needs some artistic break, 10 and 10. So there's no any special dramatic behind it. Also, there was some delays because our previous singer, Capri, wasn't able to continue with us anymore. So maybe two things added together, kind of artistic break and Capri's absence, led into the situation that we started looking for a new singer.
Okay. So now, you mentioned that after all those ABBA years, you feel like doing heavy metal again. So, you, how did Nicole's vocal style help reshape and heavily reinforce the instrumental powers from Temptation Gates?
Nicole is awesome. Her voice is unique. So you only need a couple of seconds to hear her and you can instantly recognize her. I think that's one of the most important aspects on singing is that you must be recognizable. And she really is. She's very versatile singer, so she's able to do different kind of styles. So it was really easy to work with her. And I was started to compose music for her. It was more metallic once again, and she adapted really well. So we had really great working relationship. Everything worked really smoothly, and she's just perfect for us.
Okay. So, also in this topic, I'm just reading that Nicole wrote all the lyrics of this for this album, and also she described the process. And this one, it was an emotional journey, almost like reading a diary. So, what are the core themes that you want to expose in this new record?
Nico has told me that the main theme here on her lyrics is freedom, trying to find freedom and try to be yourself without thinking what other people are thinking about you. So free to be truly yourself without any limitations from society. I think that's the main theme. She's also told me that she writes out of her own experiences. So most of those songs are really personal to her for that reason.
Okay. So, in now talking about more about the title track, Temptation Gate was inspired by Charles Baudelaire's a poetry, Le Fleur de Mal. So, how does this literal is inspire the concept of facing inner desires of searching for freedom?
Maybe that would be something for Nicole to answer because I just wrote the song, the music, and then Nicole wrote the lyrics. And I think the working title of the song was called Inferno. So every time I start making a new song, I use some kind of working title. And with this song, this title was Inferno. So maybe that working title gave her some kind of inspiration combined with hearing the song.
Okay. So, The Vision of Dreaming is the oldest track on the record, written back in 2021. So, how did it feel to finally bring this song to life alongside the brand new material you wrote for this album?
It was great, of course. Um, it's true that I wrote the song almost 3 years ago, 5 years, how much? 4 years ago. It was right after we released Looking for You album. We in the band had a new plan that back then we had this plan that we always talk about why do we always wait for so long to start recording new music. So we usually wait for me to get all those things, 10 or 11 songs ready, and only after that we start recording music. And we had this plan, why shouldn't we just try to record song by one? So as soon as I have one song ready, we could record that. And after I have the second song ready, we could record that. But it didn't work because all the guys are so lazy. It's always all the guys are full of ideas that we should do things like this and this. But eventually seems like all the musicians are lazy. So we didn't make it happen. And the song kind of was there waiting for other songs to happen first. Also, when I started to work with Capri, it seemed like she didn't have time to continue with us anymore. So the song just left there, and it waited for me 4 years until I started this band again, really, with new singer. And it was easy to start working with that Vision of Dreaming because I had the arrangements done. So
Okay.
it was easy for her to start writing lyrics.
Okay. So, and Temptation Gate features more raw, direct, and fast energy, including some spontaneous, harsh vocals on the track, especially Moon. So, was this aggressive direction planned for the start, or did it happen naturally during the 5 to 6 months of recording?
The whole process was quite fast. It only took about 6 months from zero to finish the actual album. So I wrote those songs really fast and we recorded those songs really fast. For some reason, it was so easy and natural for us to do. So it didn't took so much time. About her vocals, she recorded her vocals at her home studio. So she wasn't with me. That which is usually the case. I'm always been there in the studio when the vocals have been tracked, but not this time. Nicole tracked her vocals at her home studio, and she wanted to try out different kind of things, like adding those crazy shouts in the end of Moon. Those were her ideas, and those worked really well. So seems like we have really great combination here artistically.
Oh, okay. And you decide to use lighter orchestral arrangement these times, as you said it, featuring orchestra on only 2 songs. Why do you choose to step back from massive orchestration to let the core band instruments shine?
That's mainly because I'm kind of fed up with those things. I think those orchestral things are overused these days. Almost every band is using heavy orchestras these days because it's quite easy to add those things. So I just felt like I wanted to do something different this time. And after those ABBA records, it was kind of easy to use more synthesizers. So maybe that was the reason I was kind of fed up with working with orchestras. There was only 2 songs which really was kind of songs which needed those orchestras. And only that's why only 2 songs include orchestras and not anymore.
Okay, okay. So also, Tuomas, you said that hearing Nicole's final vocal tracks complete the backing vocals was one of your favorite memories from the studio in general. So when the album was finished, did it feel like just another Amberian down record, or it a different start of whole new era?
Both. I think there's some old and some new. Nicole definitely brings some new elements to our music. Her style of singing is so different. But at the same time, there's those kind of traditional old Amberian elements there, the musical DNA. it seems like I just cannot drop them off, even if I would try. If I try to make some different kind of music, it seems like it always sounds like Amberian Dawn. So
Mhm.
maybe as long as I'm in the band, the music is going to sound like Amberian Dawn. Um, Nicole is bringing something new, but still I feel strongly that she's really in the band now. She's a band member. She's not guesting or anything. She's really have grown into our family, and we feel like a strong, solid band.
Hmm. Okay. So also you mentioned that this album gave you feeling of the rebirth in general. So very similar to when you wrote the rebirth album years ago. What was it about this specific session or lineup that brought back the raw, long lost energy?
Uh, when I'm writing music, it all happens without thinking specific anything. I just start making music, and it's based on the feelings I have, what I want to do at the moment.
Mhm.
And for some reason, I just felt like more metal, and I wanted to make more metal music. And I played guitar more than ever before. It was really fun to start playing guitar more. It was just natural process
Mhm.
without thinking anything. And the feeling I got, I told someone that I felt like when we were recording our debut album. It's basically just because I was so excited about this all new things. It was the same when we started to record our debut album. It all was so new to me. I didn't have so much experience in bands in general. So with Nicole, I felt same kind of excitement of the new things.
Okay. Hmm. Interesting, interesting. Now talking about more about the promotion for Disney album. So what kind of plans do you have for this album in general? Especially perhaps you'll embark some tours because the album just released it the last month. So what kind of plans do you have? Perhaps an album now you're releasing more videos, you are recording a new album. Who knows? What kind of plans in general you have for Amberian Down and this new Temptation Gates?
Now we are just doing our last interviews here because the album just came out. Uh, and I think we start making social media stuff
Mm-hmm.
because we have a lot of material already. And Nicole is so active on social media. So I think we are going to make videos and release pictures of our, for example, on our recording sessions, etc. And it's our goal to be more active on social media in the future because it seems like
Mm-hmm.
our fans are expecting us to do more things on social media. So we are doing more of that. Also, maybe I start writing new music soon. I don't know yet. I feel like I'm full of ideas. I might start doing new stuff. Um, Also, we are planning to make some touring. I think it's going to be for next year because today it takes so much time to organize a tour. You need to be maybe 8 or 9 months ahead. So if we are now organizing a tour, it will be earliest on next March 27. So we have some offers on table. So I'm sure we are going to make something happen. We are going to make some kind of mini touring here in Finland and also some kind of touring in Europe.
Mhm. Okay, okay. So, returning to the album, so Unchained features a huge surprise for a long time forms, especially the growls. This is the first for Amberian Down. So, how do you decide to unleash those aggressive vocals, obviously, and what was your reaction when you heard that contrast for the first time?
Yeah, when I was acquiring our new singer and I was checking out Nicole's
Hmm.
YouTube channels and Facebook channels, I
Hmm.
noticed that she's able to also make crawling sounds. So I knew that she's able to do it. So when I was writing Unchained song, I just had this strong feeling about that this song could really use those kind of growls. And I just told Nicole that how about trying this out? And she tried it out, and it sounded awesome. So it was just like that. And I think in the future we might even use more of those kind of singings because why not? She's so versatile and she can do different kind of sounds. So usually people like that
Yeah.
singers are able to do different kind of sounds, not just only one.
Okay. Other songs like Eternal Flame and Life is Art have been described as fast, classic, symphonic power metal anthems, reminiscences of early Nightwish, Eden Bridge, and more bands. So, did you intentionally want to pay like homage to the golden era of the genre with these tracks?
Mm, for me, those tracks are just and other songs for me. There's no special. When I start writing those songs, I don't have anything special goals in my mind. I just start writing, and what comes up comes up. Um, Usually, it's some kind of first idea of something. It might be guitar riff, keyboard riff, or melody or something. It's some kind of first thing I start working with, and after the first idea, the song kind of writes itself. It just comes out. So with those songs, those are kind of traditional power metal songs, but maybe it's just my musical DNA that I want to do those kind of stuff. But I don't think about it in advance. It's all just happens.
Okay, now return. So now returning again to the moon. So it's absolutely a roller coaster that even feature blast beats. How do you challenge what is the balance that extreme fast metal intensity with the melodic and magical layers that define the band?
It's just my way of doing music. Um, I always make some kind of demo of all songs at my home studio, and I play guitar. I play guitar and bass guitar there, and I program the drums using computer. And demo is kind of first phase, and then those band members kick in, and they usually want to change something. Sometimes it's small, sometimes bigger changes. It's some kind of polishing things a little bit there, a little bit there, and together we usually find this balance somehow. Um, and we have been around for many years now. We have every band member has a lot of background as musicians, so we all have our own styles, and somehow we just are able to put those styles together, and that's our style.
Okay, okay. So, and well, we are very close to end this interview. And also, I saw that many things like is this album was like mentioned a deep passion for progressive metal bands like Protest Hero alongside for a love classic piano and opera composer like Verdi. How do these completely different worlds influence that way they approach like in a music like Amberian Dan? Obviously, the approach to sing with Nicole.
I'm a classically trained pianist, so classical music is really close to me. It's always have been. So it's always been a combination of classical music and rock music for me. And there's this one song, Life is Art, on which I have used some Verdi's melodies. Life is Art's the chorus part is actually based on Verdi's opera. So that's why it's a song is operatic. And Nicole is able to sing those songs, but she's not using, those classical way of singing, like our previous singer Heidi used to be, kind of classical soprano. Nicole isn't doing that at all. She's kind of using more like a rock voice. She's using
Okay.
this technique called belting. She's belting, and it's different kind of technique, not operatic. But I think she's still able to do those operatic songs with her belting voice. I think it's absolutely great.
Hmm. Okay, okay, okay. And also, Nicole mentioned in another interviews, they mentioned that Finnish and Scandinavian nature like winters and mythological naturally seep into the music. So coming into the band, so did you feel that unique atmosphere vibe right away when it was for the lyrics, for the music, etc.?
Yeah, I was really strongly connected with Nicole right away. Maybe because she's Swedish. It's our border country. There's a lot of similarities here in Finland and there in Sweden. So we have some cultural similarities. So it was really great and easy to work with her because of that.
Okay, okay, okay. And also, well, and yeah, we are very close to this interview. One of the final questions for this is, so Amberian Down spent the last few years heavily experimenting with ABBA covers and very commercial synth pop sound. Some metal purists felt abandoned during that era. So do you feel that Temptation Gate is like a genuine returns to your roots, or was it a strategic move because the pop experiment ran its course?
The change was natural for me. Also, it was also almost mandatory to change something because I had to change singers. So every time you use a new singer,
Mhm,
something has to be changed. Also here, I knew that if we are not able to find a Capri 2, Capri second, we have to find something different. Also, I told Nicole that she shouldn't start sounding like Nicole, like Capri, and she should sound like herself.
mhm,
Because if you try to copy something, it's never going to work. So we were not looking for a singer who tries to sound like Capri. We were looking for a singer who sounds like herself,
mhm.
something unique. And that uniqueness was the starting point for the music. So we were not trying to copy anything we have done before. Instead of that, we were trying to make something new. So it was kind of natural evolution there.
Okay, and the last question is, well, so the departure for a long-time vocalist often happens due to internal friction. Like, was Capri's exit a completely friendship mutual decision, or did the artistic direction and desires to go back to the heavy metal played a role in a changing lineup?
We didn't have any disputes. We were and we still are good friends. It was just because Capri was so busy with her other projects. She's professional singer and she must, make living of it. So she has to do teaching, for example. She does a lot of teaching and she have different kind of projects which brings the bread to her table. So she was just not able to do it anymore with us because her strict
Mhm.
schedule. So that was the only reason we had to separate ways.
Okay, okay, okay. And well, now one of the last questions for this. So as you can see, there is a lot of bands now playing like symphonic metal, etc. What kind? So now for last mostly all the bands are just related with it with a lot of the especially for the releases for the weekend. You can see there is 1,000 releases for per weekend. So now how can you see the approach to release a new album when we have more than 50 or 60 records in a weekend? So how can you see a new record for Amberian compared for a like 50 or 60 releases per weekend?
Mm. It's true that there's more bands than ever, and also it's easier for bands to release
Mhm,
music. And because of internet and everything, it's easier to distribute the music.
mhm,
So I think it's a good thing that you have a lot of bands there.
mhm,
So you have a lot of bands to choose from.
mhm,
But if you're a musician, you don't think about that kind of things. You
mhm,
just want to make music. You want to release music. You want to do shows. You're not thinking about too much about anything. Is it wise or not? Is there a competition? Who cares? You just want to do your own thing. It's something you enjoy doing. So that's also with our case. We just want to make music and we enjoy doing
mhm.
it and we enjoy the company of each other. So I think that's something we are going to continue for a long time. because what else is there to do, really?
Okay, okay. Well, Tuomas, we are right to the sad moment of this interview. Thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure to speak about Amberian Down and this new record. And perhaps do you want to add something to your Latin American fans and obviously METALLERIUM followers?
Yo, thanks for having me. It was great chatting with you, and I hope to see you all on tour someday. It would be great to visit also South America. I hope we can make it happen. If you have some local promoters there, you can contact those people, and we just need to be invited there. So see you on tour, hopefully.